Hey guys, this video I'm going to be talking about how my life has improved since starting a dopamine detox. And I do want to make one disclaimer. This is still something that I'm working on every day. There's still good habits which I need to implement more and more, like meditating very consistently every single day and reading every single day, not skipping these types of things on my weekends or anything like that, but like actually doing them 7 days a week. So I'm not perfect with everything, but I have made a lot of progress compared to my old self, and I'm proud of the progress that I've made, which is why I felt like making this video and sharing the experiences that I've had through doing a dopamine detox thus far in my life. So I'll start with telling you what a dopamine detox is. And basically, it's getting rid of all of these activities in your life that hyperstimulate the dopamine in your brain. So some examples of these activities are social media, eating junk food, porn and masturbation, video games, um, those are the main ones. There's more. There's more minor things like watching TV and things like this. Those are the main ones though. So if you're doing these bad habits, also alcohol slash weed slash drugs in general, if you're doing any of these bad habits, you should stop. Like, you know what they say, like anything is okay in moderation, but all these activities are highly addictive. So odds are if you're doing it at all, you're probably doing it too much. And odds are if you're an average person, you're doing these things too much. Maybe not necessarily all of these things too much, but at least some of them you're doing too much. Like even just internet usage in general is something that pretty much 99% of people are struggling with. Well, not necessarily struggling if they don't know that they're struggling with it, but internet addiction is a real thing, and it prevents you from doing the things that you really want to do if you just end up procrastinating by watching YouTube. See what I mean? Like it afflicts you, it affects you, even if you don't know that it's affecting you. So when you do a dopamine detox, the point of it is to reset your dopamine levels to normal levels, because the problem with doing the aforementioned activities is that they hyperstimulate your dopamine levels, so it makes you want to do those types of activities again for the pleasure seeking behavior. Once it makes you wired to do pleasure seeking activities like the ones previously mentioned, instead of doing real work that will actually give you smaller amounts of dopamine hits, but will actually give you benefits and real life rewards in the long run. Because in the long run, you're going to be much happier by doing things that actually make your life better, and by allowing your dopamine levels to return to a baseline level in the first place. My baseline level, I mean your natural dopamine levels. Because if I had a graph, I would graph it out, I would draw it out, but I'll just show you with my hands as a diagram. Like normally your dopamine's only supposed to fluctuate a certain level, right? From the baseline. So your baseline's like here. If you, and then it'll stay around that level as you, if you put time on the x axis. If you are doing, that's for a normal person, normal healthy person. If you're doing dopamine hyperstimulating activities, your baseline is going to be at a lower level, so it would be below this one over here. But then when you're doing dopamine hyperstimulating activities during the actual time where you're doing it, like say it's your baseline, nothing's happening, then you start doing a dopamine hyperstimulating activity, your dopamine will go above the other one. Then when you stop, it'll go back down and you'll be at an even lower point than before. Then it'll go back to your previous baseline, something like that. But if you're doing, say you're at a normal person, normal healthy person, your baseline's up here, so you always feel pretty good most of the time. Your fluctuation is going to be like that. Like say you go to the gym, you're going to have a fluctuation up for a bit, then back to normal. Say something, you hear some sad news or something, you're going to have a fluctuation down, then back to normal. And that's a much better life to be living than it is to have a lowered dopamine baseline and you're fluctuating a lot around, but your level of baseline is way lower, so you're always feeling worse on every single day, on every single given moment. You have a higher chance of feeling worse than somebody who's living in such a way that they have a normal, healthy dopamine baseline level. Now, why do I feel qualified to talk about this? Well, let's just say that I used to have a pretty bad dopamine baseline. Like, I was doing a lot of activities which were not beneficial. They were quite the opposite. They were very detrimental to my dopamine levels, to my mental health, to my physical health. Like, nowadays, I'm not even gonna lie, I don't really believe in mental health too much. What's more important than thinking about mental health is like actually doing actions that are actually gonna, quote, benefit, unquote, your mental health. Like, you should be doing those types of activities, like going to the gym and things like this anyways, regardless of how you feel. Like, you don't need to go, like, for me, I think that people don't necessarily need to go to a therapist or whatever. Like, if you're feeling suicidal or whatever, yeah, sure, go talk to a therapist. But like, you know, if you just do the activities which will actually benefit you, help you reach your goals, like make more money, uh, socialize, these types of things, like those types of things will make you feel better in the long run anyways. And if you stop doing those things which are hyper stimulating your dopamine, that will also help you better. Like, that will help you be better. Like, if you get yourself, it's like Andrew Tate said. If you're familiar with Andrew Tate, you're you're not depressed because your life is shit. Your life is shit because you're depressed or something like that. I don't know what it is, but it's basically like, if you make your life good, you're not going to be depressed anymore. But if your life is shit because you're just kind of escaping reality with video games and pleasure seeking activities, you're not like trying to do the real work that you actually have to do in real life, you're just pleasure seeking instead, then of course your life's going to be shit. And of course you're going to be depressed because your life is shit. But you can pretend that mediocrity and whatever is living a good life. But as a man, we have to strive for, as men, we have to strive for more than mediocrity, because we were put on this planet. Our primal instincts are to conquer, is to have power, to have more control over our lives, more influence, more power to help ourselves and the people around us, to help the woman in your life, to help your mother, father, all these types of things. But if you're just living a life of mediocrity, then you can't really do that, can you? Like, how much power and influence does an average person have? Not much if 2/3 of America is living on paycheck to paycheck right now. I'm not trying to diss you, but come on. You live in the land of opportunity. You can do better than that. So now I'm going to get back to the dopamine detox main subject. I'm going to talk about myself. Like, I used to have bad habits. I used to do pretty much all the things previously mentioned. Like, now I still do some of those things occasionally. I never play video games anymore though. And like, the thing is, like I said earlier, things are okay in moderation. It's okay to maybe play an hour of video games once in a while, whatever, this type of thing. The thing is, these things are so addicting. These dopamine hyperstimulating activities are so addicting that it's hard to just limit your usage and then not just say, oh, maybe one more hour, this type of thing, and then you increase your usage, and before you know it, you're addicted and you're messing up your dopamine levels heavily once again. But nobody's really perfect. Like, we're not Jesus, nobody's perfect. Um, we're all gonna slip up from time to time. So the only thing that you can really do is do your best and just never give up, never quit. Keep going, keep striving, keep improving yourself until you're pretty much the man that you want to be. That's my point of view on it. Like, number one is just not doing the activities that are gonna detrimentally affect you. And then number two is doing the activities that will positively benefit you. It's two steps. Like, for the first step to improving your life, don't have to do shit. Just don't do shit that's gonna mess you up, man. Because you gotta care about yourself. You gotta have love for yourself. You gotta know that hopefully your parents love you. It's not the case for everybody, but hopefully your parents love you. You have a good relationship with your friends. Like for me, yeah, I have some good friends. A lot of people in the past I thought were my friends are not really my friends, so that's all good though. 'Cause you live and you learn, you know what I mean? You start to judge people's character better as you go through life, and you learn not to trust people too quickly because trust and respect are not things to be given, those are things to be earned. I don't know why I'm going so off topic. I'm really just losing my train of thought. Let me think. Is there anything else I should say about dopamine detox at this point? Oh yeah, I was going to talk about my personal experience. So for me, I used to have low dopamine baseline levels. I was not living like a good life with regards to taking good care of my dopamine levels and this type of thing. And I just felt like shit, man. Like my mental health was poor. I didn't really care about myself and this type of thing. Obviously, there were other factors in my life which influenced me to feel that way and these types of things. But at the end of the day, man, the real reasons why I wasn't living a good life is twofold. Number one, I didn't have a strong set of beliefs. Like, if you don't know what you believe in, then you need to stop distracting yourself with all these hyper-stimulating activities, all these modern activities, all these daily activities that you have to do. You need to really, once you're done working your 8-hour shift, once you're done eating, shitting, all that shit, all the stuff that you have to do, the absolute necessities, you should just sit down and start thinking. Maybe start writing too, because that could help you understand your thought processes better. It could help you illustrate what's going on in your head. You need to understand yourself. You need to know what you believe in, what are your values, what do you strive for, what do you want in life, what do you want for yourself and for the people around you. So that's the first thing. And you don't stop until you actually figure it out. It might take you one day, it might take you way longer than that. But it's so important. It's absolutely invaluable. Like for me, once I had a belief system, I feel like I was unstoppable ever since then. Like, even though obviously I encountered obstacles and situations which were setbacks, I never give up. I never quit. I know I'll never quit. I'm gonna keep going until I'm at the top echelons of society. And then number two, that was the first thing. Know what your beliefs and values are. And then number two, after you know your beliefs and values, then you start acting on the things which are conducive to your beliefs and values. Start living according to your beliefs and values, because you can't live according to your beliefs and values till you actually know what your beliefs and values are. Now, I had another point I was gonna say a second ago. Take a second to try to remember what it is, because there's something that I felt was important and valuable to share. I'm just gonna take a second to try to remember. I don't edit these videos, so sorry that you have to wait. Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't remember that thought which slipped my mind. But yeah, you gotta know your thoughts, you gotta know your beliefs and values, and just start taking action to improve your life. Because for me, once I did that, my life's never been the same. It's been way better. Hope that video was helpful. If you liked it, you already know what to do. Yeah, I'm not gonna mention it because you already know. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a blessed day.